the audit that sets you free, aligning heart, treasure, and leadership under pressure. You can love Jesus and still notice your inner life drifting off course. Pressure has a way of narrowing your world. It talks in invoices, expectations, and that low-grade worry that says, if you loosen your grip for even a second, something important will slip. You keep showing up, you keep solving problems, you keep leading. Then one quiet moment exposes the truth. Your mind has been living in the next task, not the presence of God. Jesus gives you a clean, honest diagnostic. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Matthew 6:21. You already know what it means. What you may need today is the courage to let it name what has been shaping you, and the kindness to let God recenter you without shame. Where your attention goes, first. Each day before you speak to anyone, your heart reaches for something. Some mornings it reaches for scripture, prayer, and the steadying reminder that you are not the one holding the universe together. Other mornings it reaches for the feeling of being ahead, the comfort of checking numbers, or the quick relief of scanning messages so you can predict what is coming. That reach is not random. It shows you what you have been treating like a lifeline. If you want to locate your treasure, do not start with what you claim to value. Start with your first 10 minutes at that early morning desk. What do you open first? What do you postpone? What thought keeps tapping you on the shoulder until you obey it? Your treasure leaves a trail you can actually follow. This is not a guilt trip. It is a map. If you can see where your attention keeps turning, you can choose a different direction on purpose. When cash flow pressure starts calling the shots. This is how it often goes. You sit down early, coffee cooling beside you, and you pull up the bank balance before you touch your notes. A couple of invoices sit past due. A payment you expected has not come in. Payroll stands out on the calendar like a fixed marker that does not care how spiritual you feel. Your stomach tightens. Your mind starts generating scenarios at a speed your soul cannot keep up with. Drafting messages in your head, replaying pricing decisions, calculating what you could cut, wondering who you might have to disappoint. In that moment, cash flow pressure does more than ask for wisdom. It tries to become your North Star. It whispers, focus here and you will feel safe. Obsess here and you can prevent pain. And if you follow that voice long enough, it will start shaping your tone with your team, your patience at home, and your ability to be still with God. You might keep saying the right things about trust while your body lives like it is on its own. Matthew 6:21 lands right there. If your treasure becomes certainty, your heart will chase certainty. If your treasure becomes control, your heart will clutch control. Not as a theory, but as a daily reflex that shows up in how you speak, how you decide, and how you carry the weight. You do not have to pretend money pressure is not real. You do have to decide who gets to navigate. A heart check that touches home, habits, and relationships. When your heart drifts, it rarely drifts in only one room of your life. It shows up when you nod at the dinner table, but your mind is still scanning the day's numbers. It shows up when you listen to someone you love, but you are already building your reply and trying to fix them fast. It shows up in leadership when you start treating people like levers you pull to get outcomes, because you feel like outcomes are pulling you. Here's a new angle that matters, especially for leaders who serve hard. Sometimes the drift is not toward greed. Sometimes it is toward exhaustion that masks itself as faithfulness. You keep giving, keep serving, keep producing, and you tell yourself it is for God. But underneath, your heart starts treasuring the role of rescuer, the feeling of being indispensable, the identity that comes from always being the one who can handle it. God is not asking for your endless output. He is asking for your heart. That means you get to be honest about what your heart has been using as fuel. Ask yourself what thought has dominated your week. Ask what purchase felt urgent. Ask what you keep trying to secure before you can finally rest. Those are not just habits. They are clues about what your heart has been leaning on. Placing treasure on purpose. Small investments that recenter your week. This is where change becomes possible. You cannot talk your heart into alignment. You train it through repeated choices. Your heart follows whatever you keep investing in, which means you can redirect your heart by redirecting what you repeatedly reward with. Time, money, and attention. Your heart follows what you fund. Make it concrete. If you want Jesus to be your treasure, place him where your day cannot avoid him. Give him the first moments, not the leftovers. Open Scripture before messages. Pray one honest sentence before you answer the email that spikes your anxiety. Put your phone face down for 5 minutes and let silence reveal what you have been carrying. Think of this like navigation, not moral perfection. When you realize you are off course, you do not spiral. You check your heading and correct it. In the same way, when you notice your heart drifting toward fear or performance, you do not punish yourself. You adjust with one real act of treasuring Jesus, then you keep going. A small correction repeated beats a dramatic promise you never keep. Leading without performing. Decisions made from a settled heart, leaders often carry a quiet pressure to prove they deserve their seat. You want to serve well, provide well, and steward well. Over time, that desire can get tangled with a need to look competent, to stay admired, to never be the one who drops the ball. Then leadership turns into managing perception instead of shepherding people. You are still leading, but your inner world feels like it is always braced. When treasure becomes approval, leadership turns into acting. When treasure becomes control, leadership turns into gripping. When treasure becomes Jesus, leadership becomes steadier and more human. This is where Matthew 6:21 protects you from being impressive while becoming hollow. It calls you to align your private priorities with your public responsibilities. A steadier heart does not ignore numbers. It refuses to let numbers define your identity. It allows you to make wise cuts without cutting people down. It lets you tell the truth without needing to win. It gives you the freedom to be both clear and kind, even when the stakes feel high. How faith and work stop competing and start aligning. Many leaders live like faith and work are competing lanes. Faith becomes what you do early in the morning or late at night. Work becomes the place where reality hits, where decisions cost money, and where people expect answers. When those two lanes stay separate, anxiety grows because you are trying to lead with one set of beliefs while your habits quietly follow another set of treasures. Matthew 6:21 invites integration. When Jesus becomes your treasure, work becomes a place where your heart learns trust in real time. Decisions become more than tactics because they start revealing what you actually value. Relationships become more than transactions because you stop using people to calm your fear. Purpose shifts from proving your worth to stewarding what you have been given. So take one doable step today. Choose one small investment that places your heart back on the right heading. Give Jesus the first 10 minutes at your desk. Pause before the next decision and tell God the truth about what you want. Put your phone away when someone you love is talking. Make one generous choice that breaks the reflex to hoard. Put something on your calendar that shows, in ink, who you are following. Then pay attention to what changes over time, not overnight. Where you place your treasure, your heart will eventually show up there too.